any national officials, Ms. Ajita, who is the president, Dr. Unna, the vice president, Ms. Vincy, the treasurer of the ANEI, and Dr. Aji, who are the officials of the national level. And today we are privileged to have Ms.Thankam Gomez, who is the founder president of the ANEI and was the president, and now still ma'am is very much interested in the field of education, loves to keep us all updated with her clinical expertise. So today, along with the education committee, so I head as the chairperson, and we have Dr. Geeta, you will see on the screen, Ms. Ishita from Hyderabad. Dr. Aji is with us still, though she's the national official. She is with us connecting from Kerala. And Ms. Vinit, who is connected from Mumbai. Dr. Kripa from Puducherry. And Dr. Jayashakari is also from the Puducherry. And Ms. Suchitra from Maharashtra. We are a group of officials who connect together monthly once. We meet on deciding on how we can bring about a change in the area of education. So together today we decided the new teaching learning methodology which has come up. We will be taking up this role-play method of teaching. And as you know, we just had an hour ago with my students, and I found that they are so talented. Our youngsters don't want us to stand at the podium talking to them all the time. It should be a two-way process. And we see that 90% of our education takes place when we do something. Scenarios are given. Their mind is ignited with a critical thinking skill, and they would never ever. So with that thought in mind, the education committee, we decided together that we will have the role play as the first, as a starting step, how it can help in the education process. To deliberate on this session, we have a great personality of the association. Ma'am's mastermind behind the Association of Nurse Executives as the founder president. And also she's a certified trainer at the Dal Carnegie and the certified master trainer of the Learning Oasis USA. Ma'am is also a certified simulation trainer at the Royal Pool Academy, UK. And she is officiating as along with us at the education committee, giving us a lot of tips about how the present generation has to really move forward in the teaching learning process. So we are happy to have Ms. Thankam Gomez with us, who will be taking over the session on the role of role play in the teaching pattern. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Rosaline. And I think Dr. Rosaline had already mentioned enough that why are we getting into this session. Association of Nurse Executives India is, committed to do whatever is required for facilitating upskilling of our nurses and nursing students. So today this particular session is designed in such a manner that addressed towards college faculty and nurse educators in the heart. And I can see some students also in the audience, but no problem. You will also learn much ahead of time. And as per my style, I always like to make it more relevant to what we are doing. So with that, one final request to everyone. I don't mind those who are, have good activities to stay on the video so that I can see some expression, because after all, this is about. I really want everyone to please mute yourself. May I request Dr. Rosaline and Kripa, please mute them, and in case there is a problem, please mute them from the class. Either you are in the class to attend.
Mute, I'm sorry.
I will unmute myself. No worries. Okay. You can mute everyone. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. And those who have got connectivity issue, I would be requesting them. They don't need to be on the video because the screen starts to move and then I find it very difficult to concentrate. Okay. So those who have connectivity issue, please stay off the video, and those who don't have, please, no worries, you can be on the video. This is getting recorded, so this will be uploaded on our ANEI's YouTube. So in case somebody is missing this, no worries, they can go back and look at the video. Madam Mercy Sundar, can you please put off your video? Your camera is all over the place. Thank you very much. Okay, without much ado, let me just pull up my presentation and then we can start. Just a second, I think it's, let me just close that and get the other one. Okay, friends, can I have a thumbs up that you can see the video, the slide, and also you can hear me? Someone can even tell me. Are we good?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Great.
Yes,
So thank you so much. And all of us know about role play. I'm very sure everybody must be thinking what is there to talk about role play. Now, believe me, to get the best result out of role play, it cannot be done without much thought. Same like to come in front of you with this session, I had to do my own homework all over again, though I had been training people how to do the role play, and I really request you people to please mute yourself. Please do not, disturb the session. Thank you so much. All right. So it's a role play, simulation, all of them are, very closely related, and all of them have got an interplay as well. So I really hope that as you attend this session, I hope that you all will be able to appreciate what you have been doing, reflect what you have been doing, and also, look at what more can you add. I added a survey. I don't know where it is gone. Okay, let me just ask you a question. You can just type it in the chat box, okay? How many of you think the role play can make a difference in the result of training? You can just type yes if you think that is yes. If you think that not much, you can write not much. I added a survey on this, but I'm not. Can I hear, see some answers? So everybody is giving yes, 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 yes. So we all are in agreement. So fantastic. So let's move on. Very welcome. So our young students. This is really sad. Huh? All of your senior people, please do not unmute yourself. Please look at your screen, keep yourself muted. Thank you very much. So here we have a young nurse, Cody, age 17. She's studying in some college of nursing. Her occupation is student, level is university. She wants to become a graduate nurse. So she is hoping that I want to be a great nurse, making a great difference. This is what many students, they come in. And I have a Galaxy M31 raised their hand. Can you please tell me if you have any question in the chat box? If not, okay, I'm just watching who is raising the hand. Otherwise, please put your hand down. Thank you. All right. So all of us, we know this. What is the expression you see here? Can you quickly put in the chat box? We are having a role play. Samsung SM M315F. Why did you raise your hand again? Can I help you, please? There are some Zoom etiquettes. Unnecessarily don't raise your hand. Thank you very much. It distracts me. Role play. What do you see on the confused, fear? Okay, child with fever, cool, envy. So you can see, you know, different emotions are coming up when you just look at one picture. Okay, you have another one. What is that about? Let's interact. Let's interact. What comes to your mind? Crying. Okay.
Crying.
Okay. Keep typing. Keep typing. Cry, cry, cry. All right. Now we have the third and the fourth one. Okay. Let me take off the fourth one. What? Third one. Okay. Happy. Enjoy. Tantrum. Tantrum for the second one, I guess. Okay. Great, great, great. All right. The fourth one. Fourth one. Fourth one. The fourth one. Annoying. Annoyed. Okay. Okay. Angry. All right. Keep watching and observing. Okay. It's like I'm watching you, huh? All right. Respect position. All right. That's interesting. Respect position. All right. Annoyed. What's this one? This one. This one. Sad. Okay. Great, great, great. All right. The last one. Ah, somebody got it very quickly. Lonely. Alone. Yes. Sad. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the great interaction. Now tell me, all these things are part and parcel of our own feelings and patients' feelings? Yes, no? Please type yes or no. Okay, some people are saying dreaming, enjoying the scenery. Okay, great, great. So what we are saying is that there are different perspectives. When you look at someone, we perceive things in very different manner. I think these things are very, very important to be kept in mind as we move forward in discussing the role play. Great. So let's look at the objectives. It's a 2-hour session. Typically, a role play workshop should not be less than 4 hours. You know, in case you are, what happened to my screen? 1 second. I'm just trying to see. Okay, okay, fine. All right. Okay. So our first objective will be to understand, describe role plays and action methods. Describe different stages of action methods. What are the actions that are involved in creating role play? Generally discuss how role plays can improve teaching and training. And create and practice role plays. So this is, I really hope we have a very large group. So we will try to see how best we can do this online. I'm not promising anything, but I will try to do what's the best that I can do. And I am also going to talk about Kirkpatrick vision and role play creation template. I'll give you some idea as to how we can create role plays in a very structured manner. And I'm very sure there are faculty here. All of you are aware of OSCE, right? Everyone knows OSCE. I don't even need to ask the question, correct? So let's say, why use role play? Can I have some answers, please? Tell me some domains that you think that you can use or you are already using. Can you type some, domains or areas?
Reintegration.
Yeah, I really ask people to mute yourself. Punita, please mute yourself. Skip A to understand. Please understand my question. My question is, which domain in nursing, when you are trying to train nurses, what is the domain that you will use role play as a technology for training? So somebody says, okay, psychomotor, community and school, psychomotor.
Affective domain.
Can you please keep typing, please? Don't unmute yourself. We have too many people to be speaking. Psychomotor, cognitive domain, okay. Cognitive, okay. Cognitive, affective, okay. Domains. So if we narrow down, so let me ask you, recently I was talking to customers, you know, in my personal life also I do a lot of. May I request Kripa and Dr. Roslyn to please admit people, and there are 25 people waiting, please pay attention. Right now I have admitted them, thank you very much. So great, lot of good words came. So let me give you a little bit of tip to focus on a bit more on how role plays can help. So when I talk to customers, they usually start with words which are starting with C. Can you put some words starting with C where most commonly students and nurses will have complaints about that? Can you put words starting with C? Quickly, role play means creativity, curriculum, okay, all right. Okay, one word came, care, okay. Thank you. Finally, communication came, all right. How will a nursing head or a medical head complain that the nurses, they are not good at that? Oh, compassion, very good. Communication, very good. See, I have a list of some C's with me, which I from all the, you know, customers. Competency, very good. What else? Just looking at my words, which I have written and kept here. All right. Let us not critical thinking. Very good. Okay. Usually they don't come out like that. So the common C's that I hear are communication, lack of communication skills, lack of confidence, lack of competency, right? Lack of competency, care, compassion, and collaboration. So I am just writing down here are 2, 4, there are 6 C's. You know, there are a lot of concepts around C's. When it is customer centricity, there are C's. So even for role play, I am kind of looking at, you know, 5 C's: communication, care, compassion. I can add critical thinking to it. That's a very good idea. So I'm going to add critical thinking there. So all of us are saying we can use to develop these competencies in our nurses students by using role play. So we have established our reason why use role play, because it seems to be very relevant to develop this. Okay? Now we are going to understand the reason why are we going to use role play. Because it is going to facilitate first person experience. So in healthcare or in nursing, it's very difficult for one nurse to experience this world when they go inside the hospital. So role play kind of gives an opportunity for the student or the nurse to have the first person experience. Sunita Vishwa, please mute yourself. If you need to do some lateral discussion, please make sure that you are muted. Okay. So you have the first person experience, and also you can do this because the environment, because it is not in the hospital, it's outside the hospital. It is safe and supportive environment. Now, these principles remain the same for simulation. Surita, please mute yourself. Don't play around with your screen. That's why accidentally you unmute yourself. Okay. Just keep your mobile somewhere where it is still, and then stay back. Sunita again, please mute yourself. Sunita Vishwakarma, I think the full name. Please mute yourself. Thank you very much. So I can see, if anybody is speaking, I can very quickly see. So please don't do that. All right. Safe and supportive environment. That means the person feels safe that they can do anything. Most importantly, they can make mistake, going to harm any patient. No patient is going to shout at them. They're not real patients. So these are some of the, advantages. And please understand, the same principles also underlay the simulation. So for me, I completely package them as experiential learning. That means you're giving an experience to your student or to your nurses. The experience is what is important for recollection. Otherwise, we tend to learn a lot of things, but when time comes to decide how you need to behave, what you need to decide, you tend to forget. So if you experience something, you tend to remember, because we all know the experience in our life is what we have, what we are made of today. So whether they are good experience, bad experience, every experience is a teacher in our life. So you can learn experientially, and emotional domain is a very important part, whether the nurse learns to manage their emotion, they learn to manage the emotions of a patient. So you can kind of address all that to simulation or through role play. Role play is a much, cost effective way of giving simulated experience. So now very quickly, I'm going to take you through the Kirkpatrick evaluation model. This is something that I've come across when I was trying to prepare for this, and I think I really love it, because without knowing the model, I was already working on this. So what is this model about? Now it's very important to understand this, the pyramid. When you are sitting in this class, you are going to experience level 1. You're going to tell me whether you enjoyed the training or you did not enjoy the training. Like your students, did they enjoy your teaching? Did they enjoy your training? Level 1. Level 2, did learning transfer occur? You wanted to transfer some kind of. So did that learning occur? So you may evaluate them through different manner to see whether the learning occur. Now the level 3, did the learning change behavior? The faculty who is from colleges, you may be able to see some change in behavior while they're in the college. But the most important, the nurse educators and the faculty who are here, we all are training our nurses to change the performance when it comes to the patient, or change the performance when they are. My humble request, please mute yourself. We have a large audience. Please do not disturb. Thank you very much. So the final is that, did the training influence the performance? So when I was a nursing director, nursing head, I used to always tell my educator something. I will not ask you how you did, what you trained. If I find the nurses that they're doing the right things at the bedside, I'm not going to ask you. Similarly, I know the faculties, they have a curriculum to complete. I think it's the creativity that is going to drive whether you can make it relevant so that they can become reasonably patient ready when they reach the hospital. Same thing for the educators. It is not about repeating, induction, because that's what you're supposed to do. Some CNEs are supposed to do. But is it shifting the needle? That is what is required to be answered by each one of us. I really hope that, I would come to know that somewhere that you use the information that you're getting today and you got some results with your students and with your nurses. I really hope so. So now a little bit more about the same model. So as you can see, this is where you start. This is the inverted one. You start with the reaction, then you go to learning, then the behavior start to change, and then measure. So when it comes to hospitals, the educators need to see, how can I measure the outcomes, the results of my training? Now, it is very important to think. So I always talk about planning, or planning an intervention or planning a training with the results in mind. This is very important. So I think, patient reported outcome measures, I think that is one webinar or a conference that's going to happen in, Maharashtra for nurses. Prompts have been around for a few years now. Now, finally, this is what it matters. What does the patient say about our care? Are we making a difference? Are they feeling safe when they come? May I request Dr. Rosaline to admit people, because there are some people. I have a limitation for 500 out of seats. Please admit them. Thank you very much. So this is Dr. Don Kirkpatrick. He was the professor at University of Wisconsin. Nice to know that. Now his son is taking care of that. They keep on updating. They release, white papers around that. So he is the father of this particular model. So it's a very interesting model to look at. Now, there are many different ways role plays are being cited. Role play is a simulation strategy. So please remember, simulation, role play are not different. They are very closely associated. Simulation is a principle. It's a method of training. So we don't talk about them in different, but are different ways that you do simulation. And here we are only going to talk about role play. So it's a strategy for problem solving, communication, self-awareness. So you gave many more indications. Now it is up to us to decide that what is that we are going to start. Again, son, please mute yourself. So what happens in play? In role play, students and nurses are expected to apply the knowledge that they have already acquired or they are taught or their experience, and then reflect. This word is very, very important, reflect. So today, as you're sitting here, my request also is to reflect on how you do role plays. How do you use them? And you are reflecting on the issues, reflect on the views of others, reflect on your own views, and then the relevance to the theoretical ideas of placing them in the real world. So now you cannot take them and put them in front of the patient straight. Then things can go wrong. Their confidence can be broken because the first interaction with patient and family is sad. Now, when I come to the faculties of college, I would also give a suggestion that you should do some role play as though they are in the hospital with a tough in charge or a tough doctor, because these are the areas where suddenly the doctors make a blanket verdict. Nurses are not confident. They don't speak up because they knew that they're going to face such, personalities when they go to hospital. So now this is very important to plan. You don't have to take extra time out of your curriculum. I'm sure it can be blended in many different modules that you're doing with your students. And for nurse educators, you need to think that how can you blend with the topics that you're anyway going to do. So in role play, what do? We pretend, right? We pretend to be X, Y, Z, right? So that's what, very simple. So we are creating a first person experience in a safe and supportive environment. So if I ask the nursing faculty sitting here, someone told me cannot hear. Can all of you hear? Please, you can just say yes if you can all hear me. All of you can hear me? Hello? Can you just say yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
Yes.
So I'm asking the college. Sorry, I'm asking the college faculty, what will be the first thing that comes to your mind that you want to build a role play to create a first person experience? What would that skill be, or what would that competition?
Corona.
Can you write down in the chat box what will you do if you're a college faculty? What is the role play that you will create? The domain will be on what? And I want the nurse educators from hospital, if there are any, please type here. What will be the first role play that you will think of creating? Please put it in the chat box, please. Can you put it in the chat box? What will you create? If you have to create a first person experience role play, what will you create? Okay, fantastic. Everybody is writing communication. Wow, that's great. That's great. Grace, so that we are on agreement that we are going to create communication. Fantastic. So we do that. We can also create role plays to assess knowledge, skills, and attitude. So you can build different objectives into one role play. It is possible. As in the beginning of the class, many of you put these words: affective, cognitive, behavioral. So in final summary, you are actually trying to drive what you expect the nurse to think, decide, behave. So you may decide to create different scenarios. Okay. So now the action methods. So in summary, action methods. So when you're going to get into role play, one is that you may have a warm-up segment. Warm-up means you are obviously, I will summarize this into very easy way of saying that there are different stages of role play. The first stage will be planning. You are planning that, how am I going to do the role play? After that, I will come to it in a few minutes time. We'll actually help you with the template. So you create role play, and after that, once they come to the role play, you have already created the role creation. Okay, warm up, I'll come in a minute. You already created the role. So you are deciding that the student A will do this role or B will do this role. So I have got a very practical advice to all of you. When we used to use this role play, so one of the areas, there are very talented students. So I'll give a nurse a role play and I will give another nurse to be a patient. I usually brief them. I will brief them that this is what is expected. You act like this, you act like this. But most of the times I found my patient actor will be super active. They will put all kinds of twist and everything into their dialogue. Then what happens? There is a danger of wavering away from the objectives that you have set for the role play, just like simulation. It is very important that what are the objectives you have set to achieve when you're going to do the role play. So role creation, doubling is a concept of role play. That means, one person does it is almost like mimicry, right? You become the nurse, you become the patient. So that is little taxing unless you have very talented students. It will be difficult for them. So I would say, do it very carefully. The last one is role reversal. That means you have been a nurse, so you interacted in certain manner. After that, you go and become a patient. So you kind of experience what goes through the patient's mind. I'm really sorry. Sorry, I have a winter cough lingering. So now let's see what are the things that it can address. Let's look at some words. You can use stressful situations they are expected to face. Stressful situations. So what can be one of the stressful situation somebody can experience in hospital? Can I have some answers in the chat box? What are some of the stressful situations the student or the nurse will actually enter? Okay, code blue. Money problem, exam, mass casualties, seeing some death, okay, critically ill patient. How about something basic? Something basic like, angry doctor, angry coworker, angry patient. So it's very important to start thinking that at what level, what kind of a stress can be introduced. This is very, very important. There are a lot of, good topics which are coming up. So you have enough and more topics, right, to start. Now you have controversial situations. Controversial situations. What are those controversial situations? I'll give you some practical examples. I cannot read the doctor's order well. How do I confront the doctor? I have not got the medicine on time. How am I going to escalate that? Am I afraid to talk about it or controversial? The doctor says that please take the consent of the patient. I have to say no. So sometimes saying no can be a controversial topic for young nurses because they don't know. They just simply keep quiet. And because they keep quiet, nurse leaders, they get into a lot of trouble. Aggressive doctor, yes. Stressful workload, yes. So I think all of you are very, very, very familiar with all the things. Now, unfamiliar, you put already lot of topics. Unfamiliar situation, death of a patient, very sick patient, and then we talked about code blue. These are unfamiliar situations. Nurses won't face it. So they are called high risk, low frequency. There are situations which are high frequency and error prone. So it's very easy to create a matrix and decide that which one you want to use role play, which one you want to simulation, because role play and simulation has a difference. So please don't mistake them. Code blue will not fit into role play. Though there is an element of role play in the code blue needs more things, right? Frequently going wrong scenarios. So very frequently, a lot of things go wrong when nurses work with patients. When students, when they finish or when they go for clinical exposure, there are things that they are going to go wrong. And if we know what are those things, if you introduce them to those much before they come to the hospital, they are aware of it. They know exactly what to do. These things can go wrong. Sorry, in the beginning of the session, Dr. Rosalind mentioned about learning from error. That is another activity that happens every month by different chapters where we discuss one event that has been submitted. 100 events we have collected. So January Empower Hour session is already recorded. It's available on the YouTube channel. And February, there will be another event that will be discussed. It's very important to expose. Now, all the faculties, all the educators, you don't have to do everything yourself, but you should be smart enough to take opportunities which are already created for you and expose your nurses and students. I mean, you don't have to talk about making a presentation. You don't have to think about, talking about it. Just have to ensure that they're exposed to that video and then you facilitate a discussion. You just need to be smart about that, right? So those are some of the things. This is my golden circle. I love this circle. So I brought this here. So obviously you are going to say what role play, how am I going to do? But I would say the heart of the role play is why are you doing this? It's very important to remember why we are doing anything for that matter. If we can teach our nurses and students, why are we doing something? Then I think the learning is going to be far more retained and they will be able to recollect. Unfortunately, not every time the why is being answered because I am telling this. My 12 years of administrative experience before being critical care nurse, now after 2012, I am totally immersed in education and training. And I can tell this with confidence that we are not training our students and our nurses on the why aspect of everything that they are expected to do. So I always advise everyone, just keep asking why. Why am I doing this? Why is this order? Why is this so? It is very, very important that we incorporate that. So now role play simulation provides, remember the word simulation, role play. Provides a safe environment to encounter the scenarios first time. So when the faculty, college faculty is training the students, they have to think that what are they going to face when they reach the hospital? Telling them it probably is not good enough. So we have to give them the experience. So let's see the, 5, objectives about creating the role play. Okay. So why are we creating role plays? Role play provides opportunity for perspective take. Means you understand the perspective of a patient or a doctor or somebody else apart from what are your feelings in that particular situation, right? I'm also keeping a watch on the time because I hope that some small team will be able to do some, role play. Let's see that. So the 5 objectives, first position, that is the first one. First position, that means what am I going to feel? One's own shoes, seeing the world with my own eyes. So we are going to design the role play so that the student or the nurse can feel as a nurse. Okay, this is called the first position. The second position will be where you are going to feel how the other party is going to behave. Okay, now that needs a little bit of, Ankit, please mute yourself. Second position means what is the patient feeling? What is the patient relative feeling? What is the doctor feeling? What is the in charge feeling? So this is, the heart of the role play is coming later. We are only understanding how the role play needs to be thought of. Third position, neutral observer. It's almost like I'm watching a movie and I say, oh, this Pathan movie was like this, huh? Shah Rukh Khan, okay, but John Abraham was much better. He was very intense in his, acting. So I am being the third observer, but I really don't know how John felt or Shah Rukh Khan felt. I have no idea. I am the third position, neutral observer, and this is a very important position also. So when you plan for the role play, your objective can be only to give the first position experience. There is a possibility. I always, as I told you earlier, if you want to give a particular experience to your student or to your nurse, if you are confident of acting, it is better that you take the second position. You give the cues to your student or the nurse. That's how I practice, because then I can control that how much drama is going to happen. Sometimes, the students or the nurses, they get carried away. They will do more than what was scripted, then it is not time bound. It's very important. It's like a very short movie. It needs to be completed in that time. And when the faculty or the educator takes the second position, you can also be aware of the third position. Still, it will not give you 100% observations. So you can decide that which one that you would like to take. As you get experience, you may be able to get into the second and third position at the same time. So we have 3 positions: first position, second position, third position. Great. So now the second one, the second objective is role plays. Role play simulation brings learning to life. Now it's very important, whatever that you are going to role play, that topic or the domain should have been already trained to the learners, whether it is students or the nurses. They should be already aware of that. You cannot start teaching by giving a random role play. They should be aware of it. So, you have already taught them in some form, and then you can use the role play to even introduce the topic. That is okay, but that will be a very scripted, and you will be planning and introducing the role play to introduce the topic. Okay. So when students and nurses take the skills they learned into theory, then they transfer into their practice, there is a deeper link. Cognitive, they kind of tend to relate. It is not that I have been taught. So many times it happens that, in simulation or in role play. Let me ask you where you have observed that they have learned what they have to learn, but they fail to use that knowledge in the. Can you give me at least 1 or 2 scenarios where, the hospital people or anybody can, tell you what is the gap? Can someone type in? They know the knowledge, but then finally they are not able to put them into practice. What is the common complaints faculty gets or the nurse educator gets, or if nursing administrators are there, you can also do that. What are those gaps that you are getting? Okay, so you're telling that time constraint is a challenge, though you can't do the role play. I'm understanding that way. Their casual attitude. Okay, yeah. So that's a good one. You're saying casual attitude is one of the reasons. So maybe if you create role plays to encapsulate the outcome of nurses having a casual attitude, maybe it is possible. They tell us as we have more documentation to work now. That is why your colleagues, while they are learning, maybe they should know how to document smartly. Maybe it is required. If nurse patient ratio, so I was talking to some of the college, when you have a simulation lab, if you have multiple beds, will you create a simulation involving that, one nurse is going to take 5 patients or 6 patients? I can't talk about creating a simulation where nurses will take care of 10, 20 patients. I'm sorry. I have not done that. So it's very difficult for me to talk about it, Expectancy to the fact explain. Expectancy. You have explained some, you are expecting, it is not happening. So I think I would say that what can work better is if you always start explaining the why part of everything, why something needs to be done in a certain manner. So now when you do this, when you want to bring learnings to life, the people who are involved in the role play, it can be very transformative, or they can get new insights beyond their experience. Can you imagine a 20-year-old expecting to have the experience that me, a 65-year-old, will have? It is not possible. It is impossible. So faculty may be having an experience of whatever, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. The young nurse did not have any experience. You have to create that experience. Now, if you don't have much experience working in a hospital, what will you do to get that experience? You're the faculty, you don't have experience working in a hospital. So how will you get that experience? Can I see some answers in the chat box? Lack of empathetic listening. Okay. Can you tell me that how will you, from senior sister? Yeah, yes, very good. So faculty have to talk to someone in the clinical side to say, okay, what are the common problems that happens today? So the problems that I experienced when I was 22 years old, when I was 30, when I was 40, 50, 60, they are all different. So every stage had different problems, right? Oh, someone told that we should have a dual role. Yes. Indian Nursing Council is already propagating that, the academicians should have dual role, just like the doctors, the CMC model, where, you go to the clinical area, you know exactly what is happening and what could be the gap. So we are aware of that. Now we are talking about using role play to ensure they get that experience ahead of time. That's why you are creating the role play. Now, the principle number 3, good role play definitely needs good listening skills while you are, playing it, while you're observing it, all the domains, it needs great listening skills. It is very, very important that you should have those skills. Now, what else you need to observe? Apart from listening, what else you need to observe? Can I have some answers? I just pictures there. So somebody is role playing, you're observing how the student, maybe your objective is to train the students. So what are you going to observe? Apart from, okay, they're talking about gestures, expression. Yes, wow, very good. Body language, gestures, what are the cues? Non-verbal expressions, very good, fantastic. So we have very learned audience here, great emotions, posture, yes, very, very important. So you can imagine what all things you can talk about. When a doctor or an administrator says the nurse, they don't have confidence. You can tell in the role play. How will a confident nurse be? I always tell, if the faculty can act, there is no blessing better than that. If the faculty can bring humor, drama into when they are teaching, this is going to be fantastic. But I know that not everybody is adapted, acting. I totally get it. But then you should start experiencing or experimenting with. Role playing is simple and safe. Very important to remember. Someone told there are time constraints. You need to be smart to see that how soon, quickly you can create a role play. Nurse educators, faculties, you can have a list of things that you are going to role play. For this domain, for this, we will have role play. Now, if you have a large batch, you may not be able to role play with everyone. So I'll give you some tips at how can you multiply one role play into multiple times. We'll talk about that. What do you see here? What can, role play give to a nurse? What is that body language? What comes to your mind? Body language, can you type? Energetic. The C that I told, confident. Confident. You need a nurse who needs to be confident. So you can create confidence. And what do you see in the next picture? What these are called reflections. Huh? What do you see? In the next picture, what do you see? Reflections are always nice. Very good. Collaboration, active movement, planning, communication, decision making. Because, oh, very good. Team effort. Yeah. Connectivity. Wow. Great. Yeah, great. The audience is super active. I really love you guys because you are so super active. Coordination, planning. Fantastic. So can you imagine that if you put one picture to your students, you want to get all these words from them. They are going to remember rather than me writing their confidence, connectivity, this, teamwork, that. I may probably limit myself to some words, but when I open it to you, there are more words than I could think coming together. Isn't it so powerful? Dr. Rosalind told in the beginning that today's children, they are super smart. I can tell you, I have today's generation sitting at home. They don't like to be told. They don't like to be taught. They say, involve us, ask us, give us recognition to do something. So they may not be knowing many things that you have to teach them, but always involve. So now the last one, role play builds confidence. We know that. Now confidence for what? What does this picture show you? Confidence of what? Confidence for what? Motivate the group. Yes. This picture. What comes to your mind? Panic. Yes. Being humiliated. Isolation. Blame. Very good. That's the word I had in my mind. Blame somebody saying, you didn't do this, you didn't do this, you didn't do this. Then feeling very small, breaking my confidence. Fantastic. So being criticized. See the plethora of words that are coming in one session. Can you imagine this 17-year-old bacha who's coming to us? Bullied, yeah, embarrassed, everyone pointing out. Wow. 17-year-old bacha coming out, by the time they're 21-year-old, you expect them to be as smart as someone who has got years of experience. So there is a great challenge for the college faculty and the nurse educators that in the short period of time, how can I imbibe all these things into your learners? That's a challenge. What do you see here? What do you see in the next picture? Please keep yourselves muted. Lack of hope, helplessness, second victim, want to run away. COVID barriers, okay. Anything else comes to your mind? Unexpected things, very good. Creative, immunity, confused, volunteer worker, confidence, healthcare worker. Something else? Action, prevention, vaccination, very good. I thought of, so many. Whatever it is, I did not understand. Was it Tamil? Subha Kirti. I don't know. Okay. Pointing out warriors, self-defense, infection prevention, and preventing them together. So there is also clinical topics that you can introduce into role play as well, right? Okay, great. So now let's see. Most important thing is that you need to be prepared. Now to prepare yourself, there are Xiaomi. So role play has to be totally prepared. You can't randomly get into a role play without thinking. Make it as real as possible, that you should know what exactly could be happening in the hospital. That's the way you have to plan. Okay. Clarify expectations and stay focused on time and benchmark. Whatever that you are going to plan, you need to stay focused to that. You don't get carried away. That's the only way you can limit the time that you're going to consume in a role play. Make it safe. Sometimes you may start with the demonstration. I would say that if they're kind of lost, I cannot. Yeah, maybe you are going to demonstrate that this is how the role play can happen. Determine how the role play will be assessed. So this is very important. When you start the planning of the role play, you're already thinking, what are the things that I am going to assess during the role play? It is like, as I told you, when I showed you one picture, all of you had different take on the same picture, correct? So it is very important when you do a role play, you need to be focused and you will decide before itself, what am I going to assess in this particular role play? Otherwise, you can spin it whichever way you want. Just like you all had different take on different pictures, all of them are right. I wouldn't say that it was wrong. It is your take on that particular picture. So when you see a role play, students can tell you many different things. You can be looking at something, but if there is a co-faculty, they will look at something else. So always reflections are always right, but you have guided assessment and be very specific. Create potential for small wins, that when you are planning your role play itself, you don't make it so tough that you will not get something right in that role play. So usually this is not a major challenge, because most of the role plays or simulation that we do, something or the other will always.
Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Tarabhai Joginder, I don't think Jai Hind, Jai Bharat was required here. If you are attending this session, please stay focused. Thank you. Allow time for participants to get in the role. That means when you give them briefing, this is called pre-briefing. Give them time that this is what you're going to act. Or if they haven't already, taught about that particular domain, then they know that today is going to be role play around that. So they are pretty much prepared. And be sure to debrief. Debrief is that is the heart of role play or simulation. This is the heart of every kind of experiential learning, is the debrief. The finally, what are you going to debrief? And this also should be pre-planned. These are the points that I am going to debrief. Now I told you, I'll give you some tip. Consider recording the role play scenarios. Now what happens when you record the role play scenarios, you can use them second time, actually play it to the class and say, now you tell me what went right here and what did not go right. And you will dovetail this into the domain that you have already trained them. Just needs a bit more creative thinking and planning. You did a role play once or twice. Make sure all of us have smart, phones. We can use the smartphones to create very clear videos. And when you create the videos, you can reuse them in your sessions. Sometimes the students are very smart. You can even create a competition of role plays and select the best ones, because they have to know how to create the role play. So there are opportunities for learning. Now tell me, do we remember the opportunities that we learn from everything going right, or we remember more when something goes wrong? Which is that we remember more? When everything goes well or when something goes wrong? Oh, not answering. Wrong. I totally agree with you. In our personal life also, we learn the maximum from our own failures. When we learn, we don't make that mistake again, correct? So maybe you will keep that in mind. Now make it fun. Role play simulation should be fun and enjoyable. Now, each one of us have certain personalities. How do you dovetail your fun and your, laughter into this? It's up to you how you're going to manage. So first of all, when they are doing the role play, they should do it seriously, but you can allow them to be relaxed when they are getting into the role play. Okay, now we come to the heart of the role play. Debrief. What do you see here on the screen? Sandwich. Okay. There are some students also here, my previous students. Okay. So why did I show this sandwich here? Let me see if my students remember that or not. Why did I show the sandwich here? Sorry. Yes, friends. Why sandwich? Sandwich is fine. It is not because it's lunchtime, so I am telling you this. Many thoughts. To show conflict, taking together. Okay, I think if I can figure out if there are any students there. Okay, very smart, very good. Summarize your role play. Okay, different taste. Stuffed content with process of content. Oh, wow. Your reflections are always right. So let me tell you, why did I put the sandwich here? Thank you very much for all your feedback. I talk about the sandwich technique for leadership and also for faculty. I'm putting that into a debrief. It's called a sandwich technique of giving feedback. The sandwich technique of giving feedback, the first layer, the top bread is appreciation. Can you remember that? When you're going to debrief, the first thing you start is with positive thoughts. We don't get into saying what could have gone better in this role play. We talk about what went right, appreciation. So those who are in hospital, when principals are giving feedback to your own faculty, please remember the sandwich technique. First, appreciation, and the middle part is whatever is your constructive feedback. I always call it as constructive feedback or OFI, OFI, opportunity for improvement, opportunity for improvement. And the last bread is reinforcing the same with the positive reinforcement. Appreciation, constructive feedback, positive feedback, or positive feedback, constructive feedback, positive feedback. That is your sandwich. Okay. So, so there are some of the things that you can ask when you're doing the role play. Is that the person, the student or the nurse who actually did the role play of a nurse, you can ask, how did you feel during the scene? When were you most uncomfortable? Why do you think that you became so uncomfortable? Did anything surprise you? Would you say or do anything differently if next time you have a similar situation? Reinforce positives during the debrief. Confidence and learning go hand in hand. So these are part of debriefing. Very important to highlight the specific steps or actions which are very strong or they are very good. Please remember, all this we are learning only to improve the nurses or the nursing students. And then this is an intentional effort that you want. You're doing the debriefing with a lot of awareness. Why am I saying a particular sentence? Why am I asking a particular question? Never it is. It cannot be that, Thankam participated in a role play and I say, today I am going to fix her. Today she came. She thinks too much, too smart. I will catch you today. That should not be the attitude for any faculty or for any educators. The idea is to see that why am I doing or saying something? So reinforce all the positives and you can sum it up. Now, this is just for your information. You will get a lot of ideas about simulation, etc., from International Nursing Association for Clinical Simulation and Learning in NALCEL. So this is something that I have, put out for you, so you can make a note of it and you can read more, because this is not the beginning and the end of it. Okay. So now I'm going to show you a tool. So I would like you to pay attention to this. Before that, I just need three teams to volunteer to do a role play during the session. Can I have at least the senior faculty or the principal volunteering that we will do the role play? Can I have some 3 volunteers? I need 3 volunteers from 3 different hospitals or colleges. Hello, we have 324. Can some people volunteer? Prasanna, are you volunteering? Prasanna K? Prasanna, can you unmute? Are you volunteering? I would want Prasanna to be on the video, please, so I can see you. Can I have the volunteers on the video? I need to see them. It's very important. I just need 3 people.
If they delegate from center, then I say to check.
No. Can I have Prasanna is on the video? Can you adjust your camera, please? Prasanna, adjust your camera. Okay, fine. Rosie, please come on the video. Rosie, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you from college or from hospital?
Ma'am, I'm from HCG Cancer Center, Vizag. Hospital.
Okay. Prasanna is also from hospital. Prasanna, can you speak up? I cannot hear you. Please remove your headphone. You are not connected to the audio. Anyone from the college? Hello? We have too many people. Not courageous enough. Hello? Can I have someone from the college, please?
130000। हाँ यार, बहुत ज्यादा बदतमीजी कर रहे हैं।
Hello? Guys, we are going to now test Geeta D. Okay. All right. I have only 3 scenarios I'm going to create. So volunteers are going to work together, because probably we will try to put you in a breakout room and see how we can go. Okay. Anita also raised a hand. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see how we can make it happen. We have a large group, so we'll still give it a try. Okay. So please remember, this is a template. This is a template that I have developed with many inputs, and having done simulation scenarios for many years. Finally, I have come up with this very simple to use template. So you, this one, if you want, those who are going to participate, just keep in mind this. You may not be able to do a long role play, but still we can do a decent work. So simulation role play time. Well, first is scenario. What is the scenario you're going to create? Second one is how much time. So for all of you, you will get 5 minutes time. Just for today, only 5 minutes per role play. Okay. You may use more in real life. All right. What are the objectives? Please write only 3 objectives for today. You can increase if you want in real life, you can do that. Guided reflection. That means you are also going to do reflection. You're also going to do reflection means debriefing. Now, sometimes when you're doing a role play, you may be looking at some kind of a procedure. In case that is the case, you may write what checklist you want to use or other props. For today, there is no need for any checklist or props, but yes, you can write expected behaviors. You will write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the 5 things that I am going to observe during the role play. Those who volunteered, are you all with me? I cannot ask 300 people. Are you with me? Those who are volunteering, are you all with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay, great. Faculty running the simulation, that is your name, that doesn't matter. Then you are going to write down yes or no. So you're not going to interfere. So you will actually be coming here and doing the role play. Let's see that. Let's do that. Now, debriefing focus. I put some very practical points into it. First is positive strokes. Positive strokes, your first positive feedback. Participant reflection. You're going to ask the participant, how did they feel? So it has to be very objective. Nudge to bring insights. That means you know what you wanted to get as an outcome. So you will nudge towards that. I mean, what do you think? You know, you will use the language to take them to the desired outcome. Observer reflection. That means finally you can talk about a third observer who was the observer. They can say what did they find. And faculty and educator reflection, the person who is running the scenario finally will tell what is there. Everywhere I have written, stay focused on the outcome. So you cannot go outside the outcomes. You will stay with the outcome. Are we good? Hello, are we good?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So, so I debriefing for focus, I just put it more clearly here. This is what it is, all right? So I'll see. So now it's time for us to play. So we are going to play some scenarios, okay? So let's see how are we going to do that, because I'm keeping in mind. So there are 3 scenarios we are going to look at. Okay, I'm going to look at the time. Read back. Or this is something that happens in hospital all the time. Then you have patient identification. This is a very common error prone area. Read back is actually based on communication, and patient identification is a process. And the last one, of course, you know, is an angry. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing here. So what am I going to do? So can I have all the people who volunteered on the camera, please? All those who volunteered be on the camera. Okay, we have Rosie, Prasanna. Prasanna, can you check your audio? I think your audio is not.
Now is it okay, ma'am?
No, it's okay. It's okay. Okay. Shanti is there, Geeta is there. Anybody else? Out of 300 people, only 5, 6 people are confident. I start telling no. Hello. We have Gajendra. People are dropping off. Now that we are getting into action, they tell you, oh, better. Okay. So we have a lot of students sitting in one class. Okay, no problem. All right. So we are, I will not use the breakout room because that will be challenging with such a big group. It will be difficult. So I am going to facilitate the role play, and I will give some roles. Okay. So I'm going to be the actor in the role play. That's much more easier. And we will give the role of observer to someone. Okay, I'll give the role of an observer and a faculty and a nurse or a student. Okay, are we good? So we are going to first go for read back. So I'm going to go to Rosie. Rosie is going to be the nurse. Okay, right? And Rosie is going to be the nurse. And the faculty is going to be Geeta. Geeta is going to observe as a faculty. All right.
Okay.
And I am the doctor who is going to call Rosie.
Okay.
I'm the doctor who is going to call Rosie. Rosie is the nurse who is going to receive my telephonic order. All right. And Geeta is the faculty, is going to be the observer. And Shanti, faculty, and Shanti is the senior member in the team who is actually watching. So we have 2 observers, and then Rosie, who is the participant or the learner in the role play, and I'm going to be planning it. Typically, one of you will be doing this, but unfortunately, I can't have breakout room, so I'm going to make it happen straightforward. All right. So what I am going to do is I'm going to pin Rosie, so that Rosie is seen. I can see her very, very clearly. And okay, so we have Rosie. Rosie, I have pinned. I am not able to see you.
Yes, ma'am.
So I have,
I'm here, ma'am.
okay, when you're talking, you're coming up. Okay,
Yes,
great. Rosie, so let me, what are you doing in AI? You're in AIG or HCG?
ma'am, I'm in HCG Cancer Center, Vizag. I'm a nurse educator.
Oh, you're the educator. Fantastic. So you have, it's a good thing that you're going to get the role play. You're not going to ask somebody else to do the role play. Oh, now Rosie is telling. So please, relax. First of all, relax. No need to worry. If something goes wrong, no worries. We are going to learn also. No big deal. This is one of my favorite role plays because something goes wrong in this one all the time. Okay. So you need to imagine that you are actually working in one ward. Okay, in one ward. And you are looking after 2-3 patients. Okay.
Right.
Room number 101, 2, and 3. Okay. There are 3 patients. Room number 101, 2, and 3. And I am Dr. Thankam, and you're going to get a phone call, and you happen to pick up the phone call.
Okay, ma'am.
So the observers, you have to write down 3 things that you want to observe in this read back role play. The domain is read back. So Shanti and Geeta will write down exactly at least 3 things that you have to see in this particular role play. I'll give you 30 seconds to write it down very quickly, scribble it down, because it needs to be, documented. If you don't document, it will be all over the place. So I am also going to write 3 things that I want to write here. Please keep your video off. Somebody's, please. Okay. Are we Shanti and Geeta?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. We are okay, ma'am. On track.
Great. So, going to say now, tring, tring, you will pick up the phone.
Yes, ma'am.
Tring, 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 tring.
Hello, namaste. HCG Cancer Center from Hematology Ward. May I know who's speaking?
Oh, this is Dr. Thankam. Who's
Good
speaking?
morning, sir.
Who's
Good
speaking?
morning, sir. So this is Sister Rosie.
Yeah, Rosie. Who is looking after my patient in room number 102?
So 102 number, patient pair is Bhagwan. I am looking after the patient, sir.
Oh, you are looking after the patient.
I'm the right nurse that looking after patient.
Okay, Rosie. So I want you to do a stat, hemoglobin for this patient and
CBC.
inform the result.
Okay, sir.
Okay, are we good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just
Sir,
call
I'll
me.
get back to you. Investigation, you have advised me to take down the report of CBC. You have to send me this. I have to send the sample and collect the report and inform you back. Is it right, sir?
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Rosie. Call me when
Thank
it's
you, ma'am.
ready. Okay, we did a very short, All right, first of all, now we are going to get into debriefing. So I'm going to start to facilitate. So I'll first ask Rosie. Rosie, I really appreciate you are very confident. You
Thank
came
you.
volunteered for this role play. It's not so very easy, but well done. You
Thank you,
volunteered.
ma'am.
And yes, I could see you in real life. I can't see you. So you had a smile, you had a very confident voice. So great. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
All of you are supposed to note that I did a positive stroke to her. Okay, I finished my positive stroke. Now we come to next one. So Rosie, how did you feel? Did it all go well? Your read back policy
Yes.
went well?
Yes, ma'am, because I could get the clear instructions, and sir even took time to listen to my instruction back as to what I just wanted to confirm from him. So he
Okay.
took time to make sure that my side is also understood, and I'll work on that. So I
Okay.
felt good.
Okay, very good, Rosie. So, what do you think, Geeta? Any
Ma'am,
feedback on this role play, Geeta?
ma'am, Sister Rosie is very good communication. She
Okay.
followed all instructions. Then correct time she took the phone. She attended the call. Sometimes she missed the call, means she missed the patient details. So she attended the call in on time. Then she
Okay.
reported better. She know about the patient's condition, room number 1 and 2 and 3.
Okay. Okay. Great. Thank you, Geeta. And let's move to Shanti.
Yeah, ma'am. First, she wished and she told her name that she is so and so talking to you. You told your name, but you started with the room number. I didn't hear that whether you mentioned patient name or not. Only I could hear from the communication room number you said with her. Patient name I couldn't hear from you. Then the nurse listened your verbal order. Then she repeated back. You told me to do the patient investigation, and after the result, I had to get back to you. But in that, you told HB, but the nurse communicated with you was a CBC. So there I got a confusion. Even I couldn't clear. You asked HB, no, ma'am.
Yes.
But the nurse told you that I will do CBC. After getting report, I have to report back to you. So for
Great. Thank you, Geeta and Shanti. So I don't know what you wrote in your checklist. Now I'll tell you, both of you had different checklists. All right. So I had here 3 things which I wrote. As I wrote just now, I do have a separate checklist for read back, but I didn't use the full one. So I wrote here identification. Rosie, first was identification. So identification belongs to 3 people here. Identification of the nurse. So that's why I had to ask her, whom am I speaking to? So she said, this is HCG, this ward, how can I help you? Then I told I am Dr. Thankam. So I identified myself and I identified the patient only by room number. Patient identification always needs UHID, right? So neither she mentioned, you can't expect the doctor to remember the UHID. So UHID was, missed. And what I really wanted to see was that she was writing the order somewhere, which I was not able to appreciate. Maybe it is virtual world. Read back is, I have to read back from somewhere. Right? So I need to write down somewhere. So I did not see where you were writing it. So I couldn't appreciate the read back component. So if you just ask me to stick to this 3, these are the 3 things that I found. So now what we are going to do very quickly, we will do a reversal of roles. Rosie is going to become Dr. Rosie and you will call me. I am the nurse, okay? And you're going to do tring and I am going to take the same order, and Shanti very correctly observed. I told hemoglobin, you wrote CBC, and I told yeah. You understand? So what happened? There are many mistakes that is happening inside there. When the report comes, doctor will say, I told you only hemoglobin. Why did you do CBC? Right? You will say, no, sir, I read back. But where is the proof that you read back? Correct? So there is gap. Correct? All these are part of my debriefing that I am demonstrating to you. All right. So Rosie, now you do a tring. I'm going to take the phone call.
Okay, ma'am. Can I start, ma'am?
Yes.
Tring.
Hello. Good evening. This is Ward A1. Thankam here. May I help you?
Good evening, Sister Thankam. I'm Dr. Rosie.
Hi, Dr. Rosie. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. I want to know that 201 patient, who's looking after it?
Oh, that's my patient, sir, ma'am.
Can you please tell me the patient name and UHID number?
Rosie is becoming a very good doctor. I'm going to stop you here. You do exactly what I did. Okay.
Okay, okay,
Because
okay,
the
sure.
purpose is to train the nurse, not the doctor.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay,
Tring, tring.
okay,
Once.
okay. Tring, 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 tring.
Hello, good evening, Ward Ms.Thankam here. May I help you?
This is Rosie, Dr. Rosie. May I know who's speaking?
Hi, Dr. Rosie.
201 who is looking after?
That's me. That's me, ma'am. I'm looking after the patient.
Okay. Sister, I want you to send HB of the patient and I want to get back to me with the reports.
Yeah, just a second, ma'am. Just hold on. Let me just get the file of the patient. See, give me file. Yeah. Ma'am, I have got 201's file here. The patient's name is Raghunath and his UHID is 234567. And he was admitted yesterday with upper GI bleeding. Is that right? So I want to just repeat that, you want me to do hemoglobin?
Yes, only HB.
Okay, just a second, so ma'am, let me write it down. Hemoglobin stat and report. Okay. Ma'am, I'm just going to read it back to you just to confirm I got it right. Patient room number 201, name Raghunath, UHID 4567. You have asked me to send a stat hemoglobin and report the result. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes, correct. Thank you, sister.
Thank you very much, ma'am. When you come around, please sign it off. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, how did you like it?
Excellent, ma'am.
So it didn't take much time, correct? Now I'm very sure Rosie will say, wow, I am going to small fry from tomorrow like this only. Now this is
Sure,
very,
ma'am. We'll follow it.
This is now recorded, so you can go and watch. That's not a problem. So I really hope that everyone sitting here, you had an opportunity to kind of plan, because I told you 3 objectives. If it is not 5 minutes, we took, about I think 7-8 minutes we have taken to do back and forth, So once it is written down, you know exactly what. Now, if you have a set of scenarios that you are going to create to make sure. So when it comes to communication, ladies and gentlemen, it's not about the nurses memorizing or the students memorizing that there is a center, there's a sender, there is a receiver, then there is a synthesizer. All this GAN is good for research. But in hospital, it works. All that works is very common communication tools called IDET, ISBAT, read back, check back, call out, teach back. And you can add one more tool, which I will tell you in a while. Just give me a second. So let us get back our presentation. Okay. So we are going to do now the second one is patient identification. Okay. Great. So let's come back to next set of volunteers. So virtually everybody give clap. Rosie, Shanti, please give them a big clap. First round is always difficult. Thank you so much. Virtual clap. I'm not seeing a lot of people giving a lot of virtual clap. Okay. A lot of people coming with very funny names. Lone Wolf. That's another name. Lone Wolf. Okay. Next one, patient identification, volunteers. Prasanna is there. Okay, good. Prasanna, great. So who are going to be observers? Hello, need some volunteers to be observers. I am in, ma'am. Saranya, please come on the video. I need people come on the video who want to be observers, please. Chita is volunteering to be an observer, I guess. Okay. Anita Tiru Murugan, are you? Please come on the video. Those who want to be volunteers, please come on the video. Then only I can include you. Hello. Stay on the video, please.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm telling, stay on the video. So we have Prasanna who volunteered. And then we have Ishita, who is volunteering to be an observer. And we have Ms. Pura. If you are in the class, please keep quiet. If you are not in the class, and Mr. Gajendra, whoever is Hawaii, please mute yourself.
On the way. No, relax. Hello.
I'm just waiting for Hawaii to keep quiet. Okay. All right. So we have Saranya. Okay. Anybody from the college side? Ishita is from hospital. Saranya is also from hospital, I guess. Gajendra, you're from hospital or college?
I am from college, ma'am.
Okay. Hawaii, please mute yourself, otherwise I'll remove you. Madam Muthuram, you're from college?
Ma'am, I'm Shirley, ma'am. I'm from hospital side.
Your hospital. Why it is showing Miss Muthuram?
No, actually, we opened it from my Muthuram ma'am's ID, so both of us were watching together.
Okay, okay. You're Shirley. You're from hospital. Gajendra, where are you from?
Ma'am, hospital, Paras Hospital, Udaipur.
Paras Hospital, Udaipur. Okay. So we have Saranya from college, Ishita from hospital, Gajendra and Muthuram. Shirley, sorry. So Prasanna, you're going to be the nurse. So patient identification, I want Ishita, Muthuram, Gajendra and Saranya to write your 3 main objectives in this scenario. In this role play, what are you going to observe? 3 main things. The domain is patient identification. Please write it down. I'll give you 10 seconds. Three things, Saranya, please write it down. It's also testing that, whether you can come up quickly with such a practical domain in the hospital. When you're done, just show me your thumbs up that we are done. Okay. All right. So Shirley is done. Ishita is done. Gajendra, you're done. Okay. Saranya. Okay, great. So Prasanna, please listen carefully. How? Because this is a virtual role play. So I'm a patient. I am your patient. Okay. My name is Aishwarya Rai. I can become heroine once in a while. I'm Aishwarya Rai. I am 47-year-old. Okay. I have had cholecystectomy yesterday, and you are just coming to give me my medicine. It's only just a antibiotic. You just have to give me one augmentin tablet. Okay. One augmentin tablet you have to give to Aishwarya Rai, who is 47-year-old. Okay. And so that's it. So I'm in my room. So you have to come, and then you have to give me medicine. So whatever you need to do with me, you have to verbalize what I need to do or what I need not do. Okay. So what you're going to do, you can tell that. It's a virtual role play, slightly creative you need to be. You just have to imagine this is what I'm going to do and just say that. What you cannot do on me, you have to say that. Are we good? Present again, you are gone. Here. If you are lucky, you better get your audio back. Otherwise, I'll ask somebody else to do it. No, Prasanna, just remove it. Just remove it.
Now, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Now I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Oh, now she removed it.
Ma'am, now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now.
I can hear you. I can hear you. No problem. Okay.
I'll be just doing the scenario, ma'am, as you said.
Yes. I am your patient. You heard everything?
Yes, ma'am. I heard.
Okay. Now for all the audience, all of you can also observe. So it's a virtual patient. I am the patient. And if anytime, if you see me do this, that would mean the scenario is going to be stopped.
Okay.
In case I do that, okay. Stop means instead of saying stop, at least there is an interval. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Just time starts now. Okay.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Namaste, ma'am. Aishwarya Rai, ma'am. Good morning. I am your nurse today.
Good morning. Good morning.
Can I check your hand, ma'am? Do you have the ID band?
Oh, yes. You mean this bangle? Yeah, I have it.
Ma'am, from our hospital, they have put one color band, ma'am. That one.
Yes, I have it here. Yes.
Okay, ma'am. May I know your name, ma'am?
Aishwarya Rai.
Okay, ma'am. As per doctor advice, I'm going to give you a tablet, ma'am, antibiotic.
Okay.
From as you are operated yesterday, they have given injection. Today onwards, it is tablet.
Okay.
And are you, as per my record, your age is Aishwarya Rai, 47 years. And in ID band also, I'm checking, it is 47 years.
Yes, of course. I'm 47 by my passport, you know. Wese, I'm less than 47. I'm just 45 otherwise.
Okay. Just you had to swallow this tablet. I'm just opening her and showing the tablet name.
Okay.
And I will ask her to swallow it in front of my eyes. I will give water and give her.
Okay. This is antibiotic, right? What does it do?
This tablet, ma'am, tablet augmented.
Okay. Why am I taking this?
This is to prevent infection, ma'am. Like as the surgery is done, you are prone for infection. And we had to prevent it. So that is like, we will call in medical term, it is a prophylactic antibiotic.
Okay.
So you have to continue for 3 days or 5 days as per the advice, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you.
Have you swallowed it, ma'am?
Yes.
Thank you for cooperation, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, ma'am.
Okay, Prasanna, don't go away from the video. Very quickly, we get into debriefing. So, Prasanna,
yes, ma'am.
So let me first just summarize good things. I liked her confidence, communication, smiling, all good. Okay, Prasanna, how did you feel in the scenario? You did everything correctly for patient identification?
Yes, ma'am. I'm confident and I was able to do the scenario, ma'am.
Okay, now before I say anything, let me go quickly to the 3 observers who are here. I'll go first to the academician. Okay, Saranya. So what do you think? It went off very well?
Yes, ma'am. Good noon, ma'am. It went on well. To my perspective, I'll say the things which I observed, ma'am. So in patient identification, so she observed with the ID, then with the name also. Sometimes with initial also, perspiring to the initials also, we can confirm the patient with room number and date of admission and with diagnosis.
Okay.
And before giving the medication, she just told that tablet augmentin, and she could have explained for what, before our patient asked for what purpose they are given the augmentin and why it has been changed from injection to tablet now.
Okay.
And before giving the medication, that is the 10 rights of the patient medication has to be checked. That is especially the expiry date of the medication has to be checked, and it has to be given explanation to the patient, and giving medicine and giving water to the patient, and ensure that the patient swallows the medicine.
She has done all that. Yeah.
Just yes, ma'am, she has done. That's been told verbally, but when we do it to a patient, we have to ensure whether the medicine is being swallowed.
Yeah, she did ask me. I did like this. I swallowed it. Yeah.
Yes,
okay. Thank you very much, Saranya. Let me move to Shirley. Anything different from what Saranya has told?
Ma'am, checking the name and wedge ID number. Actually, Ms. Saranya has asked you what's your name and what is your name and the age she asked. She has to cross check with the drug chart also. So if she has taken the right drug chart, the patient side, that has to be checked. And another thing is before giving the medication to the patient, she has to tell that this is tablet augmented and this is the dosage and I'm giving it for this purpose, because the patient was, curious to know what drug it is and what is the action of the drug and why should I have this drug and all. So instead of making the patient anxious to know about what it is about, the nurse need to explain it to the patient. By doing this, we are even confirming that it's the right drug given to the right patient. Okay. And another thing, one place she specified that you are operated. She could have said the name of the surgery, like you had undergone cholecystectomy. That's also one way of confirming that it's the right patient. And the last one is like documentation. After giving the medication, the drug chart needs to be signed at the patient's bedside. So okay. This is what I have identified.
Great.
Thank
so, so Shali has written down what she has to observe. She's debriefing based on her, talking points, whatever she has written down. So let's move to Ishita. Finally, that, what are I only asked you to write down 3 things, so whatever 3 things that you observe, because we are running very short of time. So yes, Ishita.
Ma'am, so what I wanted to observe is what are the patient identifiers that she will be using in this scenario. That was one of the things, and the mechanism, how she is confirming those 2 identifiers. That was what in my observation, like 2 objectives before I did. So first she called out the patient's name, that you are Mrs. Aishwarya. I think, it is the other way. I'll ask, madam, would you mind, what is your name? Because what happens is sometimes patients are hard of hearing. There could be Aishwarya Rai, Aishwarya Chowdhury also. There could be, to identify correctly, I think we should have asked them, what is your full name? Would you please tell? Also, at the same time, the second identifier or UHID number that could have spelled. And when I'm taking the file, I should see whether it's ID band. Now, ID band is legible or not. She was able to read it. So I was matching with the patient identification. At the same time, that was a very good opportunity to tell why am I doing this act. The patient may find out why numerous times you all are coming and checking. So we have to put them understand that this is for your safety, that I give you the correct, correct medicine to the correct patient. So each time I come, or anybody, not only me, anybody comes, we need to educate them. So that was something I think that we should have done it. And yes, matching with the file as well as the drug. Now, different hospitals have different, like on the medicines, they put the patient sticker or not. So I should also know whether I'm taking the correct medicine for the correct patient, and also matching with the medication administration record chart and cross-verifying those things. That was my observation.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Ishita. So everybody had all the observations are right. Now, I'm going to debrief just to say, what is my final outcome of this role play? What did I want? I wanted Prasanna to give the right medicine to the right patient at the right time, right? 10 medication rights are very interesting to hear. It's very interesting. I always used to tell my nurses, give me 5 rights, I am very happy. Give me 5 rights correctly. In practical life, it becomes so challenging to get everything right. Okay. So let's do this role play reversal. Now Prasanna becomes Aishwarya Rai. I become Ms.Thankam. Are we good? Prasanna?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm going to do a little bit of role play with Prasanna. So all of you are going to watch so that you can see a little bit of difference. So as a faculty or as an educator, you should be prepared to do this, because seeing is believing. So rather than giving a lot of things, I can very quickly do a replay, ensuring that all the things that I wanted could have been incorporated. So let's see, we will hear Shirley's feedback, Ishita's feedback, Saranya's feedback. Let's see that in hospital, what is that bare minimum I want every single nurse to do correctly, correct? Because patient identification is prime. the right medicine to the right patient at the right time to the right route with the right documentation. This is my topmost rights that I have to ensure it happens. Rest of the thing, evaluation, teaching on these things will come later. So let's see. So Aishwarya Rai, you are in your room. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So I am knocking.
Yes, come in.
Yeah. Hello, good evening, ma'am. You know me, I am Thankam. So it's time for your medications, so I have just come to give you one medicine. Can I do that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yes, Thankam. You can say yes, Thankam.
Yes,
so, okay, ma'am. I got your medication chart here. So let me see. So we have a tablet augmentin to be given to you. So, ma'am, if you remember that you're getting injections till yesterday, and today doctor has shifted this to the tablets. So I'm going.
Okay.
But before that, I need to ensure that I have the right patient. So can I see your bracelet, our ID badge? Okay, thank you so much.
Here, yeah.
So, ma'am, can you please state your name? Please don't worry. I'm asking you again and again your name because this is to ensure that you're safe and we are giving the right medicine to the right person.
Yes, ma'am. Aishwarya Rai, 47 years.
Okay.
You can check whatever you want.
Okay, ma'am, just let me look at the bracelet. I'm just going to confirm your name and your UHID. So we have Aishwarya Rai Bachchan. You have Aishwarya Rai Bachchan over there. And the UHID is 85678. Okay, both are matching, ma'am. Thank you very much. So as I told you, this tablet is just to make sure that you don't get any infection after your surgery. Okay. I can do a dialogue if I want, ask pain and all. So, okay, ma'am. So I'm going to take out your tablet. So, okay, I have your augmentin. Okay, I have the right strength. Expiry is so very far away. So we got the right thing. So, ma'am, here is your tablet. I opened this in a medication cup. And I take a glass of water, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, I have.
Okay. Please take this tablet. I hope you had your lunch and all. Huh?
Yes, ma'am, I had.
Okay, great, ma'am. Thank you so much. And great. So I'm going to just sign it away that I have given you augmentin. I've done it. Thank you very much, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to serve you. Thank you very much. And you get well soon. I'm going to take leave. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Yes, ma'am, I have little pain. Please ask doctor to give pain medicine now.
Oh, okay, sure. Now I will not get into pain protocol because that's not my objective, right? So that's another domain. How do you assess the pain? Okay. So my thing was that I wanted to see that she's taking drug chart to the patient. She's asking the patient to state the name and she's matching the information on the drug chart with that of the ID band. I don't need to know date of admission, this, that. There's basic two things. Full name, UHID. In India, these are the two identifiers. Rest all can be duplicated. So I should have a clear ID band. Now, when you do a role play, if you want to give an experience that if ID band is not there, what will they do? So you can create a scenario where the patient does not have an ID band. Your student or the nurse should be able to tell, ki, sorry, I need to get an ID band for this patient. Right? It all depends on what is the objective that you wrote in your role play. Correct? That is very, very important to be kept in mind. And I really hope that all of you got a good understanding of doing a role play around patient identification. Yes, you have to see it happening. Otherwise, many things we assume that this will happen the way that we are assuming. And please, there is no need to complicate anything. You're only looking for the full name and the UHID of the patient. Asking the patient to state the name is one of the safety features. As Ishita told, there can be Aishwarya Rai Bachchan or Aishwarya Chowdhury, can be anyone. It's okay if you say that, good afternoon, Miss Aishwarya, that's fine. But when you get into identifying the patient, ask the patient, you can give a smile and say, sorry, ma'am, I'm asking you to state your name many times, but please state your name. That is again,
interpersonal relationship with the patient. Nobody should assume that I have known this patient. And let me tell you from my own experience, all this assumption leads to a lot of mistakes. And not taking the drug chart to the bedside is one of the very common problems that you will face. Nurses can say, you know, file is gone for discharge summary. So how do you give medicine? Administrators have to think, how can I still have the drug chart with the nurse if you don't have an electronic system, right? So there are, these are many ways that you are going to introduce them into the role play. Correct? So a very big hand to Prasanna, Shirley, Saranya, and Ishita. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
So you can imagine if you have such a repository of scenarios, which you have already written, so you don't have to think so many times, what are my objectives? You may write 3 to 5 objectives for a particular role play, and you can debrief exactly on that because it is documented. When you talk about these things, because there are 1,000 things you need to train the nurses, but there are few things they cannot go wrong. Patient identification is definitely one area that you are going to make no compromise, right? So angry patient, I am going to park it because we are almost there because the role play took some time. So I'm going to show you this, you know, your read back policy. What is missing in almost all role plays that I do is writing down. So when you actually watch them, when they do a role play, you have to give them a file. The patient's file should be available, not the real patient. If you're doing it in the classroom, you will be having a dummy file. You have to see that the nurse has or the student has written down the message carefully, clearly with the doctor's name, date, and time. Everything there, and then you will read the same thing back to the caller. You know, that is what is called a read back. Read backs are most importantly done for 2 occasions. Telephonic orders when the doctor really cannot come. I always advise the nurses that if there is a doctor, junior doctor there, give the phone to that person, let him write down. Don't take the telephonic orders. But if you are the one taking the order, get the file, write down exactly where you are supposed to be writing in the file, put date, time, the doctor's name, and your signature. Then you have already told the doctor, please sign it off. So, or that's one. The second scenario, when you are receiving critical results from the lab. Again, every hospital will have a policy where it needs to be written. I will say that in both scenarios, chits of paper is a big no. Please, I hope all of you will learn this at least today. There is no writing in any chits of paper because it increases the risk of errors. So this is what can happen. So now, if you see here, this is your angry patients blasting. So I'm just leaving this tool with you. This is a tool for managing angry doctor or nurse. You know, there are many tools. Blast is one of the tools. So I will quickly summarize. I wanted this to be a role play, but I am very, aware of the time. We just have 3 more minutes and I have another meeting to attend. So I really cannot extend. So the blast, I usually teach everyone, blast someone when somebody is blasting you. What does that mean? When somebody is getting angry, first of all, you believe that there is a reason for this person to be upset. Believe and listen to the person. Don't start thinking, why is he shouting at me? He's so angry. He's using bad words. I'm thinking in my head, I'm not listening. What is the person's problem? A is for apologize without delay. I mean, this is for me a mini lecture, so I don't have that time. So apologize, say sorry. It doesn't matter whether you did the mistake or somebody else did the mistake. You are apologizing for that person being upset. with my long experience, I have not seen single doctor ever getting angry or blasting without a reason. It doesn't matter the reason is small or big, but there was always a reason. This is from my personal experience. If anyone else says so, then there is something grossly wrong. Relatives and families, sometimes, yeah, there is a possibility. They exaggerate a problem, they get upset, that's okay. You say sorry for whatever inconvenience we have caused and immediately try to come up with the solution. The solution can be that, as a young nurse, I'll say, I'm so sorry, sir, I need to get my senior. Just give me 2 minutes, let me get my senior. Maybe that is the response you want them to give, depending on who are the participants, right? The thank is only, you need to use this thank you very carefully, because when somebody is blasting, you can say thank you. But it's part of the acronym, so I just left it there. But at least come to blast. Leave the T for a later time. At least BLAS, believe, listen, apologize, and give a solution. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we wrap up the class, I'm going to just run a quick poll, and it will come on your screen. Just give the answers on that. There are just few questions there, 4 questions, that's it. If you can just quickly answer them, it'll be good. It's not going to be reported. I'll just show here itself. Please start filling up the poll that is coming on your screen. I really hope at least 50% of the people sitting here will answer the poll. I'll give you more minutes. We have got 60, 65 responses coming up. Then I'll show you how the bar looks like also, no worries. I'll give one more, I will relaunch once again, continue. Please continue. Oh, it is timed. I like to share the results. 30 seconds more. Okay, so we got about 90 polls, 94. So I'm going to end and look at the I will share the results with all of you. Are you able to see the results? Can you see the results?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Great. So overall, looks like that most of you are in agreement overall. More than 72, I mean, between 4 and 5, you have almost 90% there. So thank you very much. I really hope that today you found this session very useful. And I also want to invite you, the college faculty and to the nursing educators. Our ANECON, our annual conference, is to be held in Hyderabad, AIG Hospital on May 26, 27. 25th, we have our pre-conference workshop that will be on simulation, making simulation efficient. So the details are all there, target audience. So there is a 8 hours online training followed by 7 hours hands-on workshop on 25th. Online sessions are on 19th and 20th, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. There will be a pre-test and pre-read and participant guide. Post-test will be there. It's a very well, planned workshop. I really look forward to seeing all of you. My co-faculty will be Ms. Harita Nair, who is the president of Telangana chapter, and Dr. Shayan Anil, another ANEI member from Maharashtra. So we are all certified simulation trainers. So we are going to be the faculty along with someone from the industry partner, and really want to invite all of you to join us, and you will be getting information at the right time in the group. So I really hope all of you enjoyed being here for 2 hours, and it can go on. As I told you, real-time workshop on role play will at least take 4 hours just to get the hang of it. And usually it's a very small group of 20-25 people, not 300 people. But I'm very happy that this platform is available for all of us to come together and share this. And I try to put all my experience into what I'm trying to do. And it's very important at the end of it, outcome. Whatever that we are training, can the students, can the nurses take the behavior and do the right thing at the best side? So this is only one part of it. We did that. You can use role play even for critical decision making. It's all up to you. How do you plan? Most important is to plan. If you don't plan, you will be all over the place. If we had not planned, even these 2 scenarios would have taken 1 hour. It will be like a drama, saga, go on and on. So very important to list down what I want to see. Please don't write all that, theory objectives into one role play. No, it is more about giving an experience to the participants, giving an experience, what experience you want to give and what do you want to elicit from the nurses or the students. What do you want to see? Because we already said communication is a problem, confidence is a problem. Suppose in the body language, incidentally, both the participants here was very confident and communicative. It is not necessary it will be like that, because they will all behave in very different manner. And please do not choose only the best actors in your role plays all the time. Give opportunity to the weaker ones who don't have confidence, give them that exposure so that they feel, next time when they feel they're, oh, okay, I've been in this situation. So they will remember to do that. So great. If just 5 minutes in case anybody has any questions or comments before I hand it over to Dr. Muslim. Thank you for all the appreciation that you are putting here. Thank you very much. Any questions or any doubts? How many of you are going to do something different because you came here today? Please raise your electronic hands. Now thumbs up. How many of you will do something different because you came here today? Just raise your hands. It would be nice to see many hands going up. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So I'll also request many of you to come on video to take a snap so we can share it on Facebook that we have done this today. I cannot take a photo without any spaces there, no? Nice to see you, Jaren. Hi.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
More
Thank you very
people on
much.
the camera.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
No, not for thank you. Come on the camera. We'll take
Yes,
a
ma'am.
photo.
Thank you, ma'am.
We will take a photo. Smiling. Karanya, you can also smile. Smile, smile. Ah, nice smile. Okay, good. Great. Thank you so much. And if there are no questions, over to Dr. Rosaline to wrap it up.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
ma'am. Thank you so much.
A good number of audience had come in. Thank you so much for those who disseminated the information to different chapters. This shows your genuine interest upon the teaching and learning process. Please don't forget, put it into practice immediately by a simple scenario at your workplace or with the students immediately so that you don't forget what you have learned. And as ma'am said, do not list a big long objectives and have a big sheet. Simple things, small things which you teach to the staff nurse or to the students should be very practical and they should immediately be corrected. That's the whole intention, and appreciation is something which is very, very important. That itself will boost the people. Thank you, participants. Thank you, madam, for making it so interactive. Afternoon sessions for people, the chance which you gave to both the educators and from the college educators, I'm sure they would have learned where they stand and where they have to strengthen themselves. I'm sure each one of you will put it into practice. Thank you, ma'am, for taking it so lively. My dear participants, you have your various chapters. Please, Education Committee will come forward with such nice programs for you. What are your areas of interest? Please feel free to share with us. We will help you through so that at the end of the day, our young nurses or novice nurses have to do better patient care so that we do not harm anybody. That's the whole motto of this particular organization. So please feel free to ask us what more you want from us. We are ready to do. And all our series are available in the YouTube. So please go back and watch if you have missed out due to your internet connectivity. Any YouTube, we have everything. Facebook Live, it will come up. Thank you, ma'am, so much for taking time with us. Thank you. Thank you all participants.
Thank you, everyone. Those who want the tool that I showed, please message me and I will share a PDF version with you. So that's my number I have just shared, 987179. One number is less, sorry. 9871798914. That's my number, or you can contact Dr. Rosaline or any one of the education committee members. We will share with people who really want to have that template that I showed in the class. We can share that with you. That's not a problem. It is a well revised, well thought through, many times, updated and reviewed from 2012. It is not something that is taken from the internet and reproducing. So if you want, let us know. Thank you very much to all of you, and keep sharing and keep upskilling, and let's make the nurses what they are designed to be for, to be the best, practicing at the top of their license. So thank you so much, everyone, and take care. Nice to see so many people from the college and from hospital. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.